This is the CocoBear infrared thermometer. Let's take it out of the box. In the box we find an instruction manual, a certificate of calibration, and the gun itself. This is meant for, like testing people's foreheads to see if they have a temperature, which is especially handy in this time of 2020 with the current world pandemic. It's a very, very basic infrared thermometer. Your readout is on the back. Batteries go in on the bottom here. You'll see I can open those up, and that takes 2 AAA batteries, which are not included. Let me get some installed. With the batteries in the unit, there is nothing to it but the trigger. So all you do is point that at your forehead, pull the trigger, and we'll get the reading. Before we go and do that, I did want to point out that you can change this from Fahrenheit to Celsius and vice versa. You press and hold the trigger for 8 seconds. And you can see it flashing, and you can select just by clicking the trigger. I'm going to leave it on Fahrenheit, and after about 4 seconds it beeps and shuts down, and it's set that way. You want Celsius, you do exactly the same thing, just select that instead. So now we'll go ahead and test it out. I'll just go ahead and point it to my forehead here, pull the trigger. 97.5. Pretty close. Now this of course will automatically shut itself off. If you leave it for about a minute or so, it'll shut off, so you don't have to worry about wasting the battery. Also, I'd like to point out this is meant for measuring human body temperature. So if it sees something abnormal, like if I pull the trigger right here, it just says low, and that's all you can do because it's looking for body temperature. In the event somebody actually has a fever, here's a glass of hot water, and we'll go ahead and turn it on. I don't know what the temperature of this is, but it doesn't show us because it's out of range. It says high. If you were in range, it would actually display that. But you notice that yellow indicator that's lit up there? That wasn't there before. So that will immediately warn you. There is no mistaking that light that somebody has a fever, and there could indeed be a problem. I've lowered the temperature of the water in the glass, so we'll turn it on. And you'll notice it beeps differently 6 times instead of only 2 times and gives you the temperature. So that would be somebody who definitely has a temperature. But all in all, it's a very basic, simple infrared thermometer. They might use something like this at your job if you are back to work during this current pandemic. This is really all it is. It's a very basic, simple infrared thermometer. We know it's calibrated because you have a certificate that is stamped, so it should be very, very accurate. It also has a memory function. If you hold the button down for 4 seconds while it's off, we'll get an M pop up. It showed 1, and then it shows the number in the display. These are all high temperature ones that I took before. Here's one that was not, and you'll notice the yellow indicator has gone out. Here's a high one once again, and you see that light has illuminated once again. Well, 2 things are for sure. 1, this is pretty accurate, and 2, you cannot beat simplicity. 1 button, just the trigger. It has a couple other tricks up its sleeve, like the memory and the fever alert and stuff like that, but just a basic thing that really anybody can just pull the trigger and use. That's all there is to it. You can't beat simplicity like that. So once again, this was the CocoBear infrared thermometer. If you'd like to purchase this item, I'll leave a link in the video description where you can find it available for sale on Amazon. Thanks for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.